whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, Gavin.Rich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel GBoot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with the death of really grooving. It's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor, get on up. You know where to purchase that at on iTunes as well as Video Soul. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. And brother Richard is still working on music. What's up, family? How we doing tonight? Thank y'all. I know it's a late start. It's 9 o'clock, but we're going to get it right into it. Of course, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I had to do an open mic. I was actually prepping up because y'all know this Sunday, I'm going to promote this right now. I will be at Uncle Matt's. That's right, Uncle Matt's on the West Bank. If you're in the Louisiana area, New Orleans area, y'all come shout out. We're going to have great comedians and such as Brandon Haynes, Isaac Cozell, Ryan Rogers, Seth Robichaud, and Jeff Vance, Anastasia, a group of other people. So this is the flyer for the show. And also, you know, my brother, Troy Duchesne, he was the host of this open mic that's out in there. It'd be a great place. You all to come out and support him if you're in the area to do open mic comedy. So great night to do comedy. And also, ladies and gentlemen, something else I want to show you. We're back. Get your laugh on. Or we can do the Ebonics version right there. Get your laugh on, part 2. I got Terry Scott, the sit-down comedian, who's the headliner, as well as Corey Mosley, B-Dub, Brandon Haynes, and Will Merrill, Dub Merrill. They're coming through on October 15th, 7 p.m. from 7 to 9, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all don't want to miss that show. It's going to be a great one. Of course, your host with the most will be there. Yours truly, Gavin Richard. So come on out. We're going to have, hopefully, DeAndre Mosley will be out there because I met brother DeAndre for the first time. But
October 15th. Get your tickets on Eventbrite right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is live right now. And speaking of live right now and supporting someone, I got the author extraordinaire, our guest. We always want to bring him in. Our author extraordinaire, the man who personifies man up and who takes a critical examination of the gynocentric society. You're Shawn James. Shawn, thank you for coming in.
And thank you for having me.
All right. Pleasure to see you, Shawn. We got 3 topics. We're going to roll through them quickly as much as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, Shawn also has The Woman Crisis, which is available now for pre-order on Amazon Kindle. I believe it also in paperback, Shawn.
It's all available on all online booksellers for pre-order on digital formats. So if you want to get the Kindle, the Nook, the Smashwords, or the Google Play version, you can get a copy. You can pre-order a copy of The Woman Crisis on all online book platforms, such as Amazon, Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble.
All right. Well, we're going to get right into it, Shawn. This is some sad news, sadly. Rapper Coolio, who's known for hits such as Gangsta's Paradise and Fantastic Voyage from the 90s, has died. Apparently, the 59-year-old rapper died in his Los Angeles home, where he suffered an apparent heart attack, according to the reports that I'm reading, although no autopsy has been released of any kind yet. It says that Coolio died at 59 on September 28, 2022. His longtime manager and friend, Jerez Posey, stated, Coolio, who was born artist Leon Ivy Jr. in Pennsylvania South of Pittsburgh in August of 1963. He moved to Compton, California, and fell into the drug scene as a young adult, but pulled himself out of it by becoming a volunteer firefighter. He held a security job at the Los Angeles International Airport before becoming a full-time rapper and making a significant mark on the underground scene. His first single was the song What You Gonna Do, but signing with Tommy Boy Records in 1994 was when his career took off. His debut record, It Takes a Thief, had the lead single Fantastic Voyage and shot to number 3 on the Billboard Top 100s, and it received heavy rotation on MTV, which at the time was when MTV actually showed music videos. Now it doesn't show anything like that. Of course, he had his most, probably song he's most remembered for is Gangsta's Paradise, which was released in 95. That was part of the Dangerous Minds soundtrack, and it was at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks. Coolio even won a Grammy for it. So we don't know exactly. It hasn't been official as to how he died as of yet, but according to what I was reading here, according to the reports on CNN, it says emergency responders answered a call at 4 p.m. local time for a medical emergency where they found Coolio unresponsive and performed resuscitation efforts for approximately 45 minutes. This is confirmation from the Eric Scott of the Los Angeles Fire Department. The patient was determined dead just before 5 p.m. Dr. Chawala on Live Well said 40 to 50% of heart attacks present with a fatal event. People ignore symptoms, which are usually taking place for weeks or months before finally having a heart attack with complete blockage. At that point, the heart isn't getting blood, and it can go into a life-threatening rhythm, which presents as cardiac arrest. So many people were showing their love for Coolio, from Ice Cube to even Michelle Pfeiffer, who starred in Dangerous Minds, the film that the song was about. She wrote on Instagram and obviously did this reel, and I'm not claiming, I don't want to play it, but this is the song. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but she wrote this on her IG account on yesterday. She said, quote, heartbroken to hear of the passing of the gifted artist Coolio, a life cut short. As some of you may know, I was lucky enough to work with him on Dangerous Minds in 1995. He won a Grammy for his brilliant song on the soundtrack, which I think was the reason our film was so much a success. I remember him being nothing but gracious, 30 years later, I still get chills when I hear the song. Sending love and light to his family. Rest in power, artist Leon Ivy Jr. So, but yeah, this was the track. I don't want to play it because I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I'm tired of that. But I was actually my favorite song he did. He gets obviously Gangsta Paradise was his biggest hit because of the Grammy, Sean. But I loved Too Hot, which rap always samples. That song sampled what's the group? Heat Wave. He did that song, and I love that one because that was on rotation on MTV. I did like Gangsta's Paradise, but something about Coolio, especially the way he had that fucking hair, just freaked me out when I was a kid. When I see it and he came out in the dark like he did in Gangsta's Paradise, I got creeped and weirded out by it for some reason. But Coolio was a talented brother. He seemed like a very nice guy, and a lot of people have nothing but good things to say about him. But I'm sorry about his passing. But Sean, every time it seems you and I come on, there's a rapper that's passed away. Remember when Prince Marquis,
I
Prince
heard
Mark
about him.
D died, and then Humpty, Shock G. Yeah, a bunch of people have died. So Sean, do you have anything to say about Coolio?
Well, I'm very sorry to hear about the passing of Coolio. I heard about it last night and I was surprised to hear about his passing. But when I look at, sadly, the passing of Coolio, it really makes me think about black men and their health. And I'm seeing a major pattern as related to many of these black men and their health. And it's like every one of these black men have died in their 50s or early 60s or so. I mean, we just saw again, like Shock G, Marky D, and Kevin Samuels pass away, and all of these men passing away from heart attacks and other issues.
Strokes,
And
yeah.
it's really sad to hear. But one of the things I'm really seeing is we black men, we have to start taking a heavier look at our health, and we need to start getting a bit more serious about our health. Now, a lot of black men, they tend to not really focus too much on going to the doctor or focus on their diet and their exercise or even their mental health. And we really need to start focusing on this because we're losing too many of our talented brothers out here before they reach old age. And again, a lot of these men are dying and near the end of their primes, and it's just showing me that we have a real serious issue as related to black men and taking care of their health.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these rappers die young. I mean, they say the average black man is about the average life expectancy, I believe, is 74. And, he died at 59.
I mean, they're not even getting to half of their lifespan, which is supposed to be 120 years. I mean, most of these black men are not even getting close to this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just showing me that we got to start focusing on taking care of our health because we're losing too many brothers these days.
Yeah. Excuse me 1 second, y'all. I had to take this. Yeah, so rest in power, brother Coolio. Did you have a favorite song by him, or
only one I knew of him was "Gangsta's Paradise" and
that was a sample of "Pastime Paradise" by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, and I know about "Fantastic Voyage," but that was about it. I mean, I wasn't really too much in the music in the '90s. I was trying to get my life together.
Yeah, you had graduated high school by that time.
I graduated high school in 1992, and then in 1994, I graduated college.
So wait, you did a 2-year college?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you taking? Let me ask you something, Sean. Since you brought that up, were you this might be a stupid question, but were you always observant like you are on YouTube now?
Yeah.
About stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've always been this way. I just never got a chance to use it in the business world, but I've always been like this. I mean, when I worked at Strive, they said that one of the skills I had was being very observant, but they just didn't want to bring me on. But I've been doing this for years.
Yeah. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, please, ladies and gentlemen. We want to send a special rest in power to Coolio. Great rapper, great brother. Seemed like a nice guy. Yeah, a lot of people, even Bushwick Bill, but I know he had cancer. But a lot of these rappers, he had to die young, man. We got to be serious about their health, and that's even me. And I know it's hard because, I mean, stress kills too, Shawn.
I know.
We're under stress a lot. We're working. You work multiple jobs. If you're working a stressful job, you also got to come home. Like Eddie Griffin says, it's tough being a black man when you step outside the house, but it's even worse when you come in your home and your woman is yelling at you. You know, it's stressful. You know, but brother, rest in peace, and much respect to his family. I believe he had 8 children. But shout out to him. Nobody deserves. I mean, we're all going to have to deal with death in some way, shape, or form, but it's still hard when it hits. DMX too.
Yep.
I forgot him. Yeah, man. No, he had 11 children. I apologize, man. He knew how to find his way to some cooch. Okay. Yeah, but shout out to him, though, man. Shout out to him. All right. Someone once said I wasn't a fan of his art, so he wasn't a fan of his songs. Yeah. Remember Yamish Paradise, that parody Cool Al Yankovic did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a beef over that. He didn't like that because Weird Al Yankovic, and for those that don't remember, he made his career basically spoofing other artists' music. And I think he never told Coolio about it, and Coolio had a problem with it. But years later, they reconciled. Sometime after that. And Weird Al actually, Weird Al Yankovic, he the only artist he said he never would fool with is Prince, because Prince was adamant about him not doing stuff. So there's a picture of him there. But we're going to go on and move on, guys. Danielle said Weird Al is nuts. His first name is Weird. What do you think that means?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I remember this shit. Man, Coolio was still rocking that in the 50s. Look at this. Come on, man. Fucking looking like a roach. I'm gonna stop. I'm not speaking ill of the dead. I love you, brother Coolio. Rest in peace, man. Yeah, David Arnold, the comedian. Yeah, shout out to him. We're gonna go ahead. Dangerous Minds was the movie. Michelle Pfeiffer, that's who we talking about on Song One. We gotta move on, y'all. So I want to talk to you about this, Shawn. Even though I talked about it on Tuesday, I wanted to get your opinion and see if you were going to do this. But Malika Andrews, she's the woman on ESPN. I don't know if you know about her. I know you stay away from TV, but essentially she's an ESPN reporter, and she had some remarks to say about the Emi Udoka situation. She was the one that came at Stephen A. Smith and checked her. I think we went over that last week. But she did this recently where the new interim coach came in. His name is, this brother's name, I have it here, Mr. His name is Joe Mazzulla. And Malika Andrews actually did this on live TV. She brought up this man's. Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm gonna just let you watch. But I want you to see what they do to black men. So watch this.
And Woj, you reported that Joe Mazzulla will be the interim head coach here. You can see his resume on the screen. He's been a Celtics assistant coach the last 3 seasons after spending the previous 3 seasons at Fairmount State. And he played for West Virginia between 2006 and 2011, and now could become the NBA's youngest head coach at 34 years old. And we'd be remiss not to also mention that Mazzulla was arrested twice at West Virginia. In 2008 for an aggravated assault. He pled guilty, paid a fine, and then again in 2009 for domestic battery after an incident at Morgantown Bar. The domestic battery case never went to trial. It was settled in August of 2009. He paid a $100 fine and court costs, plus had to do 40 hours of community service. Now, that was 13 years ago. He settled and paid both fines. So, Woj, why are the Celtics choosing him as their next head coach?
Well, let's start with this. This is somebody whose character they really believe in, whose leadership they really believe in, and tactically, they think this is Joe Mazzulla has all the makings of a head coach in the NBA.
All right. You want me to play that again, Shawn, or you saw it?
I think I saw the dig that she made at that Udoka.
This wasn't Udoka. She was talking about the interim. She made the dig on Udoka, but she just did this, bringing up his criminal history.
Oh, yeah, but that's what they do. That's what
these drinking and aggravated 6 in 2011, and now could become the youngest head.
But that's what they do. They want to discredit anybody
we'd be
black.
Remiss not to also mention that Mazzulla was arrested twice at West Virginia, once in 2008 for underage drinking and aggravated assault. He pled guilty, paid a fine, and then again in 2009 for domestic battery after an incident at Morgantown Bar. The domestic battery case never went to trial. It was settled in August of 2009. He paid a $100 fine and court costs, plus had to do 40 hours of community service. Now, that was 13 years ago. He settled and paid both fines. So, Woj, why are the Celtics choosing him as their next head coach?
Well, let's start with this. This is somebody whose character.
This is trash.
They really believe in.
It wasn't up for him. Woj stood up.
Has all the makings.
That was a dig, and she got chewed out for it on Twitter, and righteously so. Now, this is her boyfriend. So this tells me all I need to know.
Yep, got her away, boy.
Her boyfriend is Dave McMenamin, who works at ESPN. Now she's complaining about Ime Udoka having a consensual relationship with people she works with, someone he works with, but she's doing the same damn thing.
That's hypocritical.
Her father's black, her mom's white. Her grandfather is a Jew, ran a civil rights law firm.
Oh, that's
she's living. She's on that feminist shit.
Yeah.
But this is what they do. They get these black reporters to say the things that the white reporters could not get away with. They can't say anything racial because they know they'll be perceived as racist. But they get a black person to say it, a la Charles Barkley, Candace Owens, people at Fox News, whoever. Your Larry. That's who they get. And it reminds me of this interview. You remember this, Shawn? Hold on. Let me play this for you. Remember this?
We talked about George Chavallo, and I feel that, now some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that? Hey, I don't know who said that. You don't even know how you feel that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that.
Watch this, y'all.
Negative, and you're being negative, and I'm.
There are more less painful ways to commit suicide. He chose the most painful.
I met the mayor, and nothing they can do.
What were you thinking? Watch, y'all.
We talked about George Chavallo, who's a legend in your city, great man.
Mike is thinking it. You see his eyes roll.
Talking about life, highs and lows.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
With that
come on.
comment. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing live TV.
Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
All right, you got a show that you're doing tonight. We are. You know, a lot of people are. Where it comes raw and it's.
He reminded him of Holyfield. He's about to bite them ears.
You know, it speaks for itself. Everyone saw the show.
You
Right,
verbally
it's like Broadway
headbutted me.
production. It went to Vegas. It went to actually 28 cities in the United States. And we're really, really proud to bring it here. And we're actually going to Monaco on October 9th. We're going to be in Monte Carlo. Right. Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rap piece of shit like you. Come on, like, no, because you're a piece of shit.
All right, we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
That was
right there.
He needed to be checked. You could passively aggressively insult somebody and think they wouldn't clap back, and you did it against the man that bit another man that bit somebody's ear.
But this type of passive-aggressive swipe is disrespectful. I mean, a lot of these feminist-type black women, they think that they can go out here and take these type of digs at black men, and they don't understand that the same black man you're taking a swipe at, this could be you in the same spot. I mean, if the tables were turned, they would put you in the same spot. But this bed wench thinks because she's got a white boyfriend and she's working at ESPN in her so-called good job, that she's not, she's protected from this, but all it takes is for things to go wrong and she could be in the same spot because, excuse me, if she's dating a guy at work, that guy could possibly flip her. And once she gets flipped, she's out of a job. And that's what she don't understand. She's thinking, oh, I'm going to take a shot at this black man and I'm going to be able to get away with it. But the whole thing is you're not getting away with anything when it comes down to these white supremacists. They always play the chess game and they put you against the black man, make it look like you're trying to go somewhere, but you're not going anywhere. You just get setting yourself up to be taken out. But that's what it is with these bed wenches out here. You know, these bed wenches, they think, oh, I'm gonna be able to just take digs at black men on the job, take digs at black men. And they think they're gonna get away with this stuff, but eventually what happens is, again, they mess themselves up. And again, this woman is setting herself up because she's out here with a guy at work. And if you're out here with a guy at work, eventually it's not going to end well, especially for a black woman, because when it comes down to the black woman in the workplace, if she's out here with a white man, that white man is eventually going to wind up turning the tables on her and turning her out.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Looks like we were having a little technical difficulty. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But there's a reason why they put them on there, and good for Mike to check them. Malika, I was proud of Stephen A. I'm not a fan of him, but I was proud when he checked her too. He put her on notice. I don't appreciate where you're going with, because if you recall, Stephen A. Smith got suspended because he was telling the truth about domestic violence and telling how women should be cautious. He wasn't blaming them for the situation, but you had people that were upset. And Stephen A. Smith had to basically tuck his tail between his legs like a little boy and go in the corner for 2 weeks. But when that white woman attacked him and violated company policy, Michelle Beadle, she was not disciplined, but they punished Stephen A. Smith. That's the hypocrisy with this stuff. And honestly, I don't really watch ESPN no more, like from stuff like this, man. And nobody should. They're gonna keep disrespecting us. That's why I want to create. You gotta create your own. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, you mess with Mike Tyson first. You know that's just ludicrous. That's just ludicrous. You know, you're just a piece of shit. You know,
I ought to just bite your ears off. I ought to bit your head in half too. You look like an almond anyway. I'm just, I'm a little hungry. I'm just gonna do it. You try and embarrass me. The worst thing about Mike Tyson, when you try and embarrass me in front of my people, it's one thing you embarrass me personally, but you embarrass me in front of my people. I just gotta make mental of you. I gotta top you up. I gotta just punch your liver out and have it and eat it raw for lunch. You know. Did you ever see Mike Tyson since he's up there in New York?
No, I don't see him. I mean, he's in a different part of the city than I am.
I meant in the 80s back in the day.
Nope.
When he was at his heyday. Okay. Yeah. Stephen A is a coon, but he checked that bed winch. He did, huh? All right, let's go to our next topic, man. This is the big news, obviously. This Hurricane Ian that's ripping through Florida. We've been seeing things, Shawn. Reportedly, I want to tell you about some things I saw. Somebody had this trending online of this Hurricane Ian apparently ripping through Florida. And supposedly, they say that there's a walrus that was running loose. Did you see that video or hear from it?
No, I didn't hear
it. Yeah, there was. So, what it is that supposedly there's a giant walrus that's running through. The hurricane has been causing so much damage, and water has come in that they said that a walrus was there in Florida.
Wow.
Now, from what I have heard, this is not the case. There are people that are saying that this is actually video of an escaped seal is from Chile in 2020, not post-Hurricane Ian. And its video, you saw it, has already 21 million views. So you got to be careful what you watch. However, let me tell you what is true. Now, if you go to Alive 11 out in Atlanta, the water retreated. Now, you've been to Tampa Bay. Hold on, I saved this. Where is it? Now, I actually saw this image, and I'm trying to pull it up. I had seen it on YouTube, and there was an article. I thought I saved it. I was pretty sure. But as Hurricane Ian strengthens, as you know, when a storm is coming in, when there's a typhoon, you notice if you ever see the shoreline, the beach, and it goes all the way back into the water. You could see land. If you start seeing that, you got to get the hell out. Now, this was ahead of Hurricane Ian. They were on Tibet Island, so the people were getting ready for that. But if you go to okay, well, I can't find it, but I had it here. As you know, Hurricane Ian strengthened to a Category 4 storm, and already, it's caused significant damage. According to the National Hurricane Center, right now, Ian
As you can see, is on the coast, off the Atlantic coast. It is now a Category 1 hurricane, as it has made its way across land in Florida, and it was a lot of damage that was caused by this storm. You know, I get flashbacks when I look at this stuff. I was wondering what was going to happen if this thing had hit. But if you look at this, according to the reports, you know, they obviously have images of everything. So I'm going to click this. But this is over Florida, guys. Now, I'm not going to play this whole thing because this is 8 hours long. That's the tropical, when it was a tropical storm. So it's not a hurricane as of yet. And Biden.
Serve me is at work. And you're busting your neck. A lot of people out there on the line are risking their lives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now I'm supposed to speak. Well, folks, I'm here at FEMA headquarters to thank Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, Commandant of the Coast Guard Fagan, and the Commanding General of the Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant General Spellman, and the FEMA administrator who's become the MVP here these days. I spent a lot of time in this room. Griswold, FEMA, and the entire workforce, and many other federal agencies that are working together. You know, they're always going to be above and beyond, running towards danger. And
It looks like he's about to go to sleep.
People want to run away from it. These guys run toward it. And it really matters. It really matters. They're helping survivors who are really in desperate need. And that's what we're doing as we focus on delivering help to people directly impacted.
Now, let me pause this. I won't play the president long, but this is channel 11. This is what I wanted to show y'all. This is bad when you see this. If you're into anywhere you're around the coast and you see this, ladies and gentlemen, a hurricane's coming, get the hell out. These are some photographs that they had of by the Bayshore Boulevard. Y'all see that? You see that, Shawn?
Yeah, I see it.
That's the bay. The water is gone.
From that update, but we want to get to Grant Gilmore because Grant, normally we are looking at the maps that have some graphics there, but you've got some pictures for us.
Well, I tell you, Frank, I mean, just what Malik was talking about, it's incredible to see all this water literally being sucked or blown.
I'm gonna mute it because then they'll put a copyright. I've had copyright strikes for showing even news, guys, but y'all look at the pictures here. Yeah, the water's gone. So the damage that the storm has caused, according to the reports, Governor Ron DeSantis said the storm caused, quote, a 500-year flooding event, and said Coast Guard helicopters were plucking trapped residents from the roofs of homes. Communities across the streets were or will be swamped by the overwhelming waters, he said. Now, of course, no hurricane coverage can be complete without somebody from the Weather Channel getting tripped up. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play this clip of this Weather Channel reporter, just Jim Cantor, who's always got to do this. It's become essentially a holiday tradition for somebody from the Weather Channel to get in trouble in a hurricane, that they got to stand out and tell everybody how strong it is, despite the fact that the roof of the house has been blown up. But you look at this right here.
Just being quiet by. All right, you know what? I think I'm just going to come in here for a second. Give me a second. Jimmy, all right? All right, I'm fine. I'm fine. You just can't stand up. All right. All right, I'm gonna let you guys look at the pictures, okay? Now
Sean, do you have any comments? I'm sorry, I was on mute, but yeah, no hurricane could be complete without the Weather Channel and somebody from the Weather Channel being blown away. So it's become a holiday tradition.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to see what happened to all of those people in Florida. My prayers with all of those people in Florida who have to deal with the devastation of Hurricane Ian, and I'm really sad to hear about it. And I'm hoping that the government does right by these people and helps them out. Because a lot of people lost their homes. A lot of people, they had their property damaged. And thankfully, we haven't heard of any loss of life yet. So I'm thanking God about that. We're not hearing about any loss of life. And I'm just hoping that people can recover from this hurricane. And I'm hoping that the best for those who are out there, because these hurricanes are tragic events, and thankfully we're not hearing about any loss of life as of yet.
Yeah. Now, something you did see, you may have seen too. This reporter actually helped this woman from her car. I don't know what makes people think when you see water, and I know sometimes why they would get in a car. Or drive if you see water thinking they can chance it.
They think they can drive through, but they don't understand your engine is going to get flooded and it's not
Your
going to
engine
work.
gets flooded and there's no telling, you don't know how deep it is.
Yeah.
We know that this has been a big storm and it's done a lot of damage.
When it comes to water, when in doubt, turn the other way.
It is important to understand that we will focus on Florida and we will continue to focus on Puerto Rico and the devastation there because of Fiona. But with that, we do want to just let everyone know that we're thinking about them and our thoughts are with them and support is on the way.
When the storm passes, the federal government's going to be there to help you recover. We'll be there to help you clean up and rebuild, to help you get Florida get moving again. And we'll be there at every step of the way.
The surface temperature of the ocean is increasing and will continue to increase because the atmosphere is warming. Everything is warming a little bit. And the warmer the ocean temperature, the stronger hurricanes are.
The interesting thing too, this is the first storm that I believe that has hit American, if you're counting one in Puerto Rico, obviously, but the U.S. mainland, this is the first hurricane that's actually hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't hit the United States mainland and caused significant damage. We don't know the ins and outs of what will happen next, obviously. And you saw that picture I had. That was a big storm. So Category 4 hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with everybody. They're reporting even looting of stores and so forth in Lee County, Florida. Good luck with that. They had a whole news story too, Sean. News station that was flooded out by Ian. I want to show everybody that.
Wow.
Let me see. I have that here. News station.
really incredible video.
Yeah, this is it here.
We can pop up that video if you'd like. This is studios there in Fort Myers. Wink News. Oh my gosh, the flooded.
Fort Myers, Wake News. Look at this.
This died.
Wink News. Look at that.
TV's on the wall and it gives you a.
The cars are underwater too. The garage, but look at how this is the news station. Yeah, look at the water there. This is a flooded parking garage.
This is an area where we have seen an intense.
This is in Naples, Florida.
A lot of flooding. In fact, citywide curfew. All right, so here.
Man, you can see the boats. Yeah, the boats are coming up to the station.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I lived through this stuff, man. I'm used to it. Darius says they say hundreds of people are dead in Naples, Florida. The count will come in. They're obviously are evacuating or airlifting people, so that tells me that there are more people. Obviously, sadly, it hasn't been calculated yet, and I'm sure it will be. I mean, Shawn, we had, and this is something I talk about in my book, Katrina. There were people, prisoners. If you remember that infamous photo or video of that cop that was standing there with the rifle and all those prisoners in the water, whatever happened to them?
Good question.
Nobody ever found out. So there's no death toll as of yet. Obviously, they're going to have to look at it. But, you know, a lot of people I know, especially some people say, why did they stay? Why did they say? Well, let's see here that they confirm at least 12 have died with Hurricane Ian. Was underwater. 80% of the city was underwater when that happened, although it was really the Army Corps of Engineers that did that with Katrina. But yeah, my thoughts and prayers, ladies and gentlemen, to everybody that has been affected. I mean, look at last year when Hurricane Ida hit, I had to stay up here, you know. I had to evacuate myself, so I know what it is. I know what it is. So, Shawn, I do want to talk about this last topic. A couple last topics. Can we do it right quick?
All right.
All right. So, I want to mention this. Netflix. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. And please donate to the Cash App and PayPal. Netflix removes the LGBTQ tag from the Dahmer TV series. Now, Netflix has done a mini-series called Dahmer, which is about the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, who was a cannibal and also was homosexual. Now, they removed the tag from Netflix due to user outrage. Quote, not the representation we're looking for. This is coming from Variety. So I have the story here and you guys can take a look at it. But Variety is reporting that Netflix removed the tag after some of its viewers were outraged by the portrayal of from the Ryan Murphy created limited series. They said the show starring Evan Peters as the notorious serial killer and was categorized under the LGBTQ tag for at least 2 days. It launched on September 21st. A source with the knowledge of the situation confirmed to Variety that the tag was officially removed on Friday, September 23rd. The decision to categorize Dahmer as LGBTQ content ignited controversy on social media, with many subscribers condemning Netflix for the decision. The tag is normally used to spotlight such shows such as Heartstopper or Sex Education, both of which include LGBTQ characters and in a positive light. Dahmer technically does feature a LGBTQ character since the serial killer was a gay man, but as one subscriber wrote on TikTok, this is not the representation we are looking for. They said here, Netflix, I implore you to please reconsider having Dahmer with the LGBTQ tag, especially as one of its tags right when you open up the app. Another subscriber wrote on Twitter, all television series, of course, and this is the thing, Shawn, they have categories. So whether it's horror, whether it's dark, whether it's comedy, they'll have that in terms of the movie. So they had LGBTQ because Dahmer was a gay man, but people condemned it. I'm assuming gay people condemned it from that community. And since launching, it has attracted almost 200 million viewers, 196.2 million hours in viewers in its first week. The reviews have been less kind. Critic Caroline Frank panned the series for being predictable, adding, "It's quote, it's a grim sepia tone slog that rarely justifies its own existence." Some real-life family members of Dahmer's victims have condemned the series, with the sister of Errol Lindsey, the black man, Rita Isabel, who say it's sad that they're just making money off this tragedy. That's just greed. So, Shawn, what do you think about this, about the Netflix removing the tag?
I don't think it was a good decision. I mean, these people on the far left, they want to sit there and they want to get upset about this. But if you want representation, you've got to take the good with the bad. I mean, this whole thing of Jeffrey Dahmer, he was a member of the alphabet community. He did target black men who were homosexual. And these are historical facts that cannot be denied.
Right.
But what we have in the alphabet community is a lot of people who just want to see good things all the time, but they don't want to acknowledge what goes on in their community that is unethical, immoral, and egregious. Now, excuse me, I myself ran into this when I was trying to publish my second book, and I featured a down low character who was a cheater. And one of the reasons why that book got rejected by a lot of people was because there were a lot of white women and alphabet members in the publishing industry who didn't want to see any sort of character in a negative light who was a member of the alphabet community. But if we're going to have full representation, we have to have the good and the bad, because in order for us to get a balanced picture of things, we need to see the bad along with the good. And if you want to go out here and say that your Jeffrey Dahmer is a series that you want to put on, you're going to have to admit what he is. And what he was a member of the alphabet community who targeted black gay men and was looking to go out here and participate in violence to take their lives. I mean, there's no escaping it again, but the whole thing is you have many of these woke types, these social justice warriors, these leftists. They all want to sit here and say, oh, we want representation, but they only want positive representation. I'm sorry, but if you want representation, you've got to take the good with the bad, because in the black community, you tell us we have to have your monsters balls, your preciouses, but we can't get any positive media. But the alphabet community, all you want to see are positive images, but it doesn't work that way, because if the black community and other communities have bad stories about bad characters, then you're going to have the same stories too, to give us actual diversity and an actual balanced picture of life in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even interesting that in less than 2 years, I'm sorry, less than 2 days, they removed that.
Well, they did that because there are a lot of alphabet
Yeah.
people in Hollywood, and they will fight.
That work at Netflix too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will fight to control the way that their image is portrayed. And I mean, look, Judge Joe Brown, who I've had come on this show lots before, he talks about how he still gets the emails from groups like GLAAD, and they tell the Emmy board the images that they want to see. So I want this though to be a lesson, especially for Black folks, at what happens when you, whether you like them or not, when you're organized, when you have money, when you have power, how you can get things done. Because yes, as Shawn is saying, we got to take the good with the bad. You know how many gangster movies have we seen that show Black men selling drugs, calling women bitches and hoes? See how pushing drugs, murdering their own brothers. We've seen lots of movies like that. I had to watch the movies we were coming up with, like Dead Presidents, Menace to Society, South Central, Boys in the Hood. While that was a part of life, we know that all Black people also aren't like that, aren't living in the projects. All Black people don't live in the ghetto. I had I had a mother and father who provided for me and my brother. Yeah, I got it. So, yeah, but it's interesting. This is why you have to own your own stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all don't hear, that was my dad, guys. He's coming in. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
All right.
Everybody say hello.
Hello. Hello, Dad.
Guys. Hi, Shawn.
Hi.
You need to call. You need that right now?
I need it before the evening's out.
All right, I'll get it to you in a second, okay?
Mm-hmm. What's your discussion about?
We're talking about the Netflix miniseries Dahmer. They removed the gay tag from it, the LGBTQ tag. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh.
Yeah, the people complained about it because they didn't think they don't want it representing the homosexual community.
It is what it is.
Everybody asks, oh, by the way, everybody said happy birthday. How was your birthday?
Wonderful.
Glad to hear that.
Had a wonderful time. Wonderful party. Family, friends, very good.
Yeah. Everybody said good evening. Okay. Yeah, everything was good. We had fun. I showed everybody some of the pictures. We showed them in the lineup, the photos and stuff. So everything was great.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. Everybody loves you. Vulcan 205 says, and there's a lot of rainbow people in Hollywood too. That there is. I got one last topic, Shawn.
All
right. I gotta bring this up because I talked about this before, but there are even more details about Brett Favre that gets worse and worse by the day. More and more disturbing details. Now, I already talked about Brett Favre and how he allegedly was part of a conspiracy with Mississippi officials to skim money from the poor population of Mississippi, taking money from their welfare, money allocated towards welfare in that state to build a volleyball stadium. But according to this, it gets even worse. I'm reading on People, according to People magazine, Brett Favre's cancer charity allegedly directed $130,000. You hear me? You ready? To the University of Southern Mississippi's athletics department. According to this, his charity, which supports disabled children and women,
funding $130,000 to the University of Southern Mississippi Athletic Foundation, tax documents obtained by ESPN and the Athletic revealed. According to the Athletic, Favre's charity, Favre for Hope, used their funds to give the university's athletic foundation $60,000 in 2018, more than $46,800 in 2019, and more than $26,100 in 2020. Over those same years, no other charitable organizations received more than $10,000 to $11,000 from Favre for Hope, the outlet reported. The former, of course, we know that the former NFL quarterback has been linked to an ongoing scandal with ex-Mississippi Governor Philip Bryant that claims the pair used welfare funds meant for low-income residents to build a new volleyball stadium at the university where his daughter played. These allegations were first reported on an investigation by Mississippi Today that was published earlier this month. Funding for the stadium is now being investigated as part of the largest public fraud case in Mississippi history, per ESPN. Okay. Shawn, we've been talking nonstop about the Boston Celtics and Ime Udoka Kong, whatever his name is, Ime Udoka. And they're talking about that, but Brett Favre, who has a podcast, I believe, not only on Sirius XM, but with ESPN as well, they suspended the podcast. But Brett Favre, and it's alleged because it hasn't been proven, has stolen thousands of dollars, millions of dollars from the state. What do you make of this, man?
Well, this is something that's par for the course when it's with these nonprofits. A lot of these nonprofits run game in order to get the funding, and they play fast and loose with the rules, with the money. And the whole thing is that they just hope that they don't get caught, because a lot of these nonprofits, they will go out here and pull all sorts of hustles to get their grant money. And the only thing that happened here was that your Brett Favre and his organization wound up getting caught. Now, I worked in nonprofit from 2000 to 2001, and I learned a lot about how that business operates. And that business is a shady one, because a lot of times people finesse things in order to get this grant money or whatever funds. They try to pull some slick stuff. And the whole thing is that they're just hoping that some way, shape, or form that they just don't get caught. That's the whole rule of nonprofits, again, because they use words like operating budget and other technical terms as a way to avoid having to deal with things as related to fraud. So technically, on the surface, they are following the rules, but they're just doing some shady stuff underground, and they're just hoping that somebody doesn't scrutinize them. But what's happening here with Brett Favre is that he just got caught, and his organization got caught. And the whole thing is that this is something, again, that is done all the time in nonprofits, but there's a clear double standard, because here we have a white male out here doing dirt, and people are trying to find a way to justify it. They're finding a way to deflect. And that's possibly one of the reasons why we have this Ime Udoka scandal going on, because people don't want to look at what Brett Favre was doing allegedly with this money, or what somebody in his organization was doing with this money. Because with
Brett
these
Favre.
nonprofits, they usually pass give a pass to a guy like Brett Favre, and they'll say it's a guy in his organization, like one of their directors of fund development. They'll say that they are the culprit for this, or they'll say it's somebody who was one of the people as related to the accounting, or they'll say it was one of the grant writers, because a lot of times organizations like this have grant writers, and they'll say that they participated in a scheme to try to get this funding, and they'll put it on one of those employees. But when it comes down to grant money hustles, they're always looking for a fast way to get the money. And a lot of times grant makers are looking for a way to give these people the money. But the whole thing is, this is dealing with the U.S. government, and with it being the U.S. government, somebody might possibly wind up going to prison for fraud.
Yeah. And someone called him Brett Fraud.
Yeah.
This is all John Madden's fault, by the way, because he gave us Brett Favre. Yo, Brett Favre just plays backyard football. He goes, where? Boom.
But this is how the business is done in that nonprofit. I worked in nonprofit for a year, learned all about it, and it's a lot of people pulling a lot of tricks. And if you don't watch yourself, you could get caught up in something, and you'd be the one getting jammed up because they're going to say, "Oh, it was your fault," and not the guy who was running the thing.
Yeah. I have nothing more really to follow up with, but you're 1,000% right, Shawn. That's how this thing works. They treat it like a business. You worked in nonprofit before.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brett Favre, and keep in mind, Brett Favre is a multi-millionaire himself, just off what he did in the NFL. He's not somebody, I don't know his finances, but I can assure you Brett Favre is not broke.
Nope.
The commercials he does, the commercial he does, his podcast, he's got to be making. He's
good
not
money.
doing that for free. No, and he could have donated money. And look, businesses will often donate monies, especially to avoid paying high taxes. They will donate to charities. That's a write-off. He's using his nonprofit allegedly because his wife, Deanna Favre, is a breast cancer survivor. So that he would use that to finance a school, which here's the thing, if he wants so interested in allocating money to the school, you can petition the governor, you can ask him to do it legally. They can do funding for the state. They do that all the time. You can get those boosters for your college. You're the face of this. You're arguably the most famous alumnus they've had. You're the most famous alumni of Southern Miss. He could have put money up.
Easily.
Danielle said, I heard he tried to bring Deion Sanders in that deal. Thank God he didn't. Yeah, Prime wanted nothing to do with that. I mean, that's Jackson State, too, by the way. Prime is the coach of Jackson State. Prime ain't got nothing to do with that. So I don't have nothing more further, brother, but I want to just do a couple of things if I can. I'd like everybody to please donate to this Cash App, to the PayPal. The channel is not monetized, so any monies you can donate, I'd appreciate it. I saw this earlier that, speaking of football, Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, was hit so hard that his fingers and feet were actually curling up, and he was lifted up. Well, he was carted off the field. So I'm praying for that brother, Tua Tagovailoa, who is a great who's a great quarterback. Actually, was doing real good. This is from a head injury. Obviously, look at his fingers. I'm gonna show y'all this. Look at this. Y'all saw how his stuff he was at. You see how his stuff is curled up like that?
Yeah,
that's nerves. That's nerve damage. They say he's moving his extremities and stuff, which is good news. So he's not paralyzed, thank goodness. But yeah, we're praying for you, brother. All right. So please donate to the Cash App, the PayPal, the Zelle, ladies and gentlemen. I ask you also, if you would like to buy some Creole seasoning blend, Shawn has his as well. Go to Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com, order you some seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask, of course, for you to purchase the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby on Kindle right now. And Shawn, I do want to say this. Why don't you go ahead and promote your book? Your books and what you have going on for us, and tell us about the live stream tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow night's live stream is going to be about the passing of Coolio and the health of Black men That's going to be the topic for tomorrow night's live stream. And if you guys want to pick up some positive Black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find all 80 of my books, such as the ISIS series, the Easting series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and novels like The Fadas, Eternal Night, and A Recipe for Success on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also find most of my positive Black fiction on other online booksellers all over the world, such as Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and other online platforms.
Okay, someone asked me, so my man, shout out to you, Computer Robots, asked me how the book sales are going. The book has been going. I'll just put it like that, but not as it's moving pretty. I would say okay, but not as fast as I'd want it to be. Not recently. I would ask people if you have not to support it. You know, I've done a lot of promoting for this book. I do it on here. I tell people about it all the time. So, not in recent times has the book I've has picked up any money. I mean, picked up any sales. So I'm still pushing for it. You know, I write books obviously that a lot of people I don't think are interested in.
It takes time to build an audience, and it takes time to sell. It's a process. Last couple of months, I've had slow sales myself, so I know how hard it is to sell books, and you just have to keep pushing at it, and eventually people will start picking it up. I mean, if you do more appearances on lives and videos, you might be able to build up some momentum. I mean, I got a big break when I was on the Obsidian platform, and I've been on other platforms. And the whole thing is you just got to keep pushing at it, and people will eventually start picking up the book, but it's going to take time, and you got to have a lot of patience for this business of selling books, because it's a rough business.
Yeah, it is a rough business. So we just try and push it. That's all I can do every day. Just push, push, push. So I talk about it here. I talk about it wherever I go. I'm still looking to promote it. I'm actually going to cut a video for it, advertising it between over the weekend. So y'all be on the lookout for it. But rest in peace, brother Coolio, again. And Shawn, thanks. I might have to check out your live stream tomorrow, since I'll have some time. All right.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, I don't have much. I'm actually going to be working on some music in a little bit. Yeah, I'm back writing. I was actually doing some lyric writing right now, and doing trying to come up with stuff for melody. So you guys just be safe and be blessed, and wish me luck on that. So I'll hopefully have something for y'all soon. All right, y'all. Let's go on and wrap this up, of course. Come on, Electra. Push, push. Push, 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 push in the bush. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. It's time to get on up and get on out of here. So I'll see y'all in the next one, all right? Get those songs. All right. Peace out. Thank you, Shawn.
All right, thank you.
All right. This has been another edition of Gavin Richard Presents here on channel GBoo2786. Gavin Richard, Facebook and Twitter. I'll holla. I will see you all on Sunday. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll move. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me to lose. Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on Earth, Wind, and Fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby,
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.